EIE Instruments Private Limited presents Marshal Stability Test for Bituminous Mix. Generally, the stability test is applicable on hot mix design using bitumen and aggregates with the maximum size of 25 mm. Before making the highways or approach road for aircraft, it is necessary to design bituminous mix for flexible pavement so as to withstand repeated stresses and deformation considering the types of traffic. Also the climatic variations, low temperature cracking, permanent deformation during the hot weather, and moisture-induced damage is also considered to design the bituminous mix. Marshal stability test is conducted on bituminous mix specimen for designing of flexible pavements. Marshal stability test is conducted on a compacted cylindrical specimen of bituminous mix of diameter 101.6 mm, having thickness of 63.5 mm. The load is applied perpendicular to the axis of a cylindrical specimen through a braking head assembly at a constant rate of travel of 50.8 mm per minute at the standard test temperature of 60 degrees Celsius. The Marshal stability of the bituminous mix specimen is defined as a maximum load carried out in kg by a cylindrical specimen of bituminous mix under specified condition of temperature, that is 60 degrees Celsius. Apparatus consists of a cylindrical mold of 101.6 mm diameter and 75 mm height with base plate. Both the ends of the molds are interchangeable on the base plate. A collar extension is provided for preparation of sample. A compaction rammer with a flat circular plate of a diameter of 98.4 mm with a hammer of weight 4.5 kg, which can be lifted and released to obtain drop of 457 mm. A compaction pedestal with a mold holder consists of a wooden block with a steel plate to hold the mold assembly in position during compaction with spring tension device. A testing head consists of an upper and lower cylindrical segments, having an inside radius of curvature of 51 mm. The lower segment is mounted on a base having two vertical guide rods which facilitates insertion of upper segment. The Marshal stability testing machine consists of a motorized loading unit which moves towards downward and upward directions for loading and unloading. Pre-calibrated proving ring is provided at the center of the bracket of the machine to measure load. A dial gauge of having range of 0 to 25 mm and having least count of 0.01 mm is fitted at test head to measure the flow value of specimen. Besides the above equipment, a hot plate, asphalt mixer, constant temperature water bath, electronic balance, thermometer, sample extractor are required to carry out the test. Preparation of test specimen. The coarse aggregates, fine aggregates, filler material and bitumen are proportioned and mixed by hand or in bitumen mixer in such a way that final gradation of mixtures is prepared as per required gradation of the mix design. The maximum permissible size of coarse aggregate for the preparation of Marshal stability test specimen is 25 mm. The mix is heated at a temperature of 175 degree to 190 degrees centigrade. The mold is clamped on compaction pedestal. The inner surface of the mold is oiled. One filter paper of 100 mm diameter is placed and approximately 1200 grams of the mix is weighed and transferred into the mold. Recommended compacting temperature for VG 10 grade bitumen is 138 degrees Celsius and 149 degrees Celsius for VG 30 grade bitumen. The mix is compacted by hammer at specified temperature by applying 75 blows. The mold is reversed, filter paper is placed, and again 75 blows are applied. After the compaction, the molds are allowed to cool down to the room temperature. After the bituminous mix is cooled for overnight, then the sample is extruded with the help of sample extractor. Attach the proving ring of 30 kN capacity on Marshal machine before conducting the test. Place the sample in water bath maintained at 60 degrees Celsius for 30 to 40 minutes. Thereafter, take out the sample from the water bath and place on lower segment of breaking head assembly. Insert the upper segment of breaking head assembly and place whole assembly along with the sample on Marshal stability test apparatus. Place the steel ball on breaking head assembly and lower the proving ring until it touches to the steel ball. Also position the dial gauge on breaking head assembly to measure the flow value. Set the value of proving ring to read 0. Also, set the value of dial gauge to read 0. The loading unit is started and load is applied at constant travel rate of 50.8 mm per minute. The load on proving ring and flow value on dial gauge is closely observed at a time. As soon as the sample fails, the pointer of the proving ring rotates in opposite direction. Exactly at this instance, note down reading of proving ring division for load and dial gauge reading for flow value. The maximum load value expressed in kilograms is recorded as the Marshal stability value of specimen. The vertical deformation of the test specimen corresponding to the maximum load is recorded as the flow value and expressed in 0.01 mm. The test is carried out on sample of 63.5 mm of thickness. If the compacted thickness of the specimen is less than 63.5 mm or more than 63.5 mm, then the correction factor is applied as per the table. The final Marshal stability value of the sample is equal to Marshal stability value multiplied by correction factor. Procedure for modified Marshal method for larger aggregates size up to 38 mm. For testing bituminous mixes containing larger aggregates with maximum size up to 38 mm, a modified Marshal method has been developed. A basic procedure of preparation of specimen and testing is same except mold internal diameter of 152.4 mm and height of approximately 114.3 mm. One extension collar and base plate is provided. The Marshal rammer having weight of 10.2 kg and a flat tamping face of diameter 149.4 mm with the same height of drop of 457 mm. The number of blows is 112 at both the sides. The compaction pedestal is suitable for 152.4 mm diameter mold. The testing head is similar but having inside radius curvature of 76.2 mm. The modified Marshal test is carried out for 95.2 mm thick specimen, and if any deviation in thickness of compacted specimen, then the correction factor is applied as per the table. The final Marshal stability value of the sample is equal to Marshal stability value multiplied by correction factor. Average of 3 determination shall be taken to find out Marshal stability strength. Testing head, rammer and Marshal molds shall be preheated to 60 degrees Celsius before the test is carried out. Thank you. Wishing you an accurate testing. Please visit us on www.eieinstruments.com.